couple of months ago, I found out a guy in my chemistry class wanted to be friends with me. Truthfully, I thought he was kind of a jerk, and I didn't like him that much. But he sent me a friend request online, so I accepted it. I mean, it's not like I was going to say no. I didn't want to think I was rude, and it could have gotten awkward at school, especially if he told his friends, who are also my friends online. It's not like any of them really hung out with me or even talked to me that much, but we are still connected. It would have sucked if they all started talking trash about me behind my back. Or worse, they dropped me from their friend lists. I didn't want to go losing any friends. Nowadays, everyone has a social media identity. People believe that their online personas and friend lists define them and prove their worth. But what's the truth behind the screen? As seen in 368 Friends by Bradley Walton. There was this play we read in English class called No Exit by a guy named Jean-Paul Sartre. It was about these three characters who had died and gone to hell. The characters were locked in a room together and basically they didn't like each other. They were all dependent on other people to affirm how they thought of themselves, only they couldn't get that affirmation. So that was their hell. Whenever I thought back on what the teacher had explained, it made me feel good about what I had. I had friends, and whenever I started to feel down about myself, I could just go and pull it up on the computer. I had 368 friends. 368! It was hard to wrap my head around sometimes. When I was little, it didn't seem like I had any. But when I got older and my parents let me have my own computer and I started networking, it was like a whole new world opened up to me. There was this boy named Steven, who I thought was sort of cute, and I, liked him. But I never had the nerve to talk to him in person. When I got my account and set it up online and started looking around to see who else was there, my stomach did a flip when I saw Steven's name. This was it. This was my chance to connect with him, with just the click of a button. It was the hardest time I ever had clicking a button in my whole life. What if he turned me down? What if he told his friends and they thought I was an idiot? I stared at the screen for half an hour with my finger on the mouse button, and finally, somehow, I did it. I sent the friend request, and then I sat there freaking out, wondering why I'd done it. But then, less than 10 minutes later, a message popped up on my screen. Steven had accepted my friend request. It was the greatest feeling in the world. He didn't hate me or think I was a loser. He wanted to be friends. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I actually mattered to other people my own age. And I felt really good about myself. That I wasn't like those characters in No Exit. That I wasn't a loser. Like them. I don't know what it was exactly that made me start to notice it. To feel like maybe things really weren't the way that I thought. Maybe it was sitting by myself in the cafeteria during lunch, watching Steven and his friends, and noticing how they never seemed to notice me. Or how whoever sat next to me on the bus, someone who was usually my friend online, how we never seemed to have anything to say to each other. And I'd go home, and I'd stare at that number on my computer screen, 368. The number of friends that I had, 368. The number that told me just how much other people thought of me, 368. And I'd find myself having to stare at it harder and harder, trying to will it to mean as much to me as it used to. Trying to ignore the nagging doubt that maybe outside of what I believed, it didn't actually mean anything. I'd never really posted much in a way of status updates for myself. My life just didn't seem that interesting. When I did, it was about some movie I'd seen or to cheer on the football team or something. No one ever commented on any of my posts. But I guess I never really posted anything that was worth commenting on. Then, one night, I was sort of feeling down, and no matter how hard I stared at that number, it just wasn't making me feel any better. So I clicked on the tab to update my status, and I typed that I was sad. That was all. No need to write a book. I just wanted to let my friends know how I felt. To give somebody a chance to say something to make me feel better. To prove that that number really did mean something. I stared at the screen for hours. Nobody responded. And I thought for sure someone would say something the next day at school. Except no one did. But, no biggie. Stuff just flies under the radar sometimes. I tried not to let it get to me. But still, it kind of did. That night, I posted that I was depressed. No responses. Nothing the next day at school. Hadn't anyone noticed my post? Didn't anyone see the way that I was acting in school? The way I was slouching and how I avoided eye contact and barely touched my lunch? Didn't anyone care? Last night, I posted that I was thinking about killing myself. Nothing. Someone new from art class had even added me as a friend, and my number was up to 369. And nothing. 2 hours ago, I posted that at 10 o'clock tonight, I was going to go to the playground at the park, 2 blocks from my house, sit at the base of the slide, and swallow a bottle of pills. To my mild surprise, 3 of my friends actually chimed in, saying things would get better and not to do it. But no one called my house. No one is at the park now. It's 10:02 and I'm the only one here. I wonder if anyone will notice that I'm not in class tomorrow. Probably not. But eventually they'll find out what happened. And they'll do what people do online whenever somebody dies. They'll write posts about how shocked and sad they are. About how I was their friend. Maybe someone will create a memorial page. A memorial page where 369 people will finally show that they've noticed me for the first time. It's a nice thought. It makes my number seem like it actually means something again. I unscrewed the lid of the pill bottle and dumped the first few in my mouth. Very soon, my friends, all my friends will mourn me. and in mourning me they will celebrate me, and my life will have mattered. I had 368 friends. 368. And it didn't mean